Here we are. Hi, everyone.
Hey. Hello, everyone.
My name is Kim Havens. I am here with Danica McKellar. I'm the event manager here at An Unlikely Story. So first, I'm going to tell you a few technical points just to make sure that you guys are all set with Crowdcast. Just so you know, it does work best with Google Chrome. So if you're having a problem, just switch over and use that as your browser. If you have any issues with the video or audio quality, you can click on the help button. It's a question mark in the upper right-hand corner of your screen and click on compatibility mode. The quality should improve, but you'll be on a slight delay. And Danica, you can chat with people if you want while I'm rattling on if you want.
Sure.
You got a whole chat going.
Yeah, yes, I see. Well, I don't want to talk over you.
Okay. So
Do you
if
mean
you'd like
type?
yes, you can type.
Oh, see, I've got my ring light is blocking me.
Oh, they are very
Oh,
bright.
wait.
All right, so we do have the chat. So if you'd like to submit questions for the Q&A, please type them in the Ask a Question box that's right below the screen. It's over to the right-hand side. If you do see a question that's similar to one you would like answered, you can upvote, and then it'll float to the top. Any unresolvable issues, leave the presentation, click right out of it, and log back in, and that always fixes it. Cassie is also logged in the background, and she can monitor the chat and she can assist you. So this is Danica's new book. If you want to order it, she has book plates from An Unlikely Story. We mailed them out to her, so she will personalize them and sign them. So you just click on the purchase the book button. It's green. It's right in the middle of the bottom of your screen. And you'll get each book purchased from us during the event. We'll get one of our book plates. So now we're moving on. Welcome and thank you all so much for being here tonight for this event with Danica McKellar. So we put a poll down there so Danica knows. We have her mom watching. We have some grandparents. So let Danica know in the poll below. It always helps to know who's in the audience so she can not tell any fart jokes in front of the teachers.
I probably will anyway.
Or maybe. Danica McKellar is best known for her roles on The Wonder Years, The West Wing, and lately for her popular movies on the Hallmark Channel that I've been watching nonstop. Danica is also a New York Times best-selling author of math books, as you see, with over 1 million copies sold since 2007. Starting with Math Doesn't Suck, Kiss My Math, Hot X, and Girls Get Curves, Geometry Takes Shape, books aimed at middle school and high school readers. She wrote her first children's picture book, Goodnight Numbers, in 2017, followed by 10 Magic Butterflies, which just has the best cover. The best Math Time series, and Do Not Open This Math book about addition and subtraction, aimed at 6 to 8-year-olds. Introducing us to the sweet character, I Love Mr. Mouse, and he helps kids, parents, and teachers everywhere with Common Core addition and subtraction. I highly recommend you also check out her website, McKellar Math. It has lots of very cool and funny videos, as well as lots of math tips. She's also an internationally recognized mathematician and advocate for math education, a summa cum laude graduate of UCLA with a degree in mathematics. Danica has been honored in Britain's esteemed Journal of Physics and the New York Times for her work in mathematics, most notably for her role as co-author of a groundbreaking mathematical physics theorem which bears her name, the Shays-McKellar-Wynn theorem. She's been on Dancing in the Stars. She's an actress. She's an author.
I'm exhausted.
I know, me too. Danica's 10th McKellar math book, The Times Machine, just came out last week, and you can get your very own copy here. So welcome, Danica. We are so happy to have you here.
I am so happy to be here.
So your love of all things math just comes shining through in your books and in your videos for kids and parents.
Thank
and
you.
I absolutely love how you refer to yourself, how you refer to it as it's your jam, and it totally is.
Yeah. Making math fun and silly and goofy and memorable is definitely my jam.
So what started your love affair with math? How did this happen? Was there one moment or?
You know, I have always loved a good challenge. And math definitely gives that to you. But I remember when I was in the 7th grade, I hit a rough patch with math. I'd always considered math to be challenging and kind of, I struggled with it here and there. But in the 7th grade, I had a teacher who just didn't make sense to me. I'm sure he was perfectly fine, but I didn't get it. And I used to literally come home and cry because I was afraid of approaching my math homework. And I don't know if anybody watching here has had that experience either as a kid or a student, or when you were a kid. Let me know. I love this being interactive. Hey, what's that noise? Are you hearing that noise?
Motorcycle going by the bookstore.
Oh, I was like, I think there's some interference on the microphone. No, it's a motorcycle.
No,
Okay.
it's just very loud.
Fair. Fair enough. So anyway, if you guys, I think we can all relate to that feeling of when you are going to be handed a math test and you just have this feeling of dread. Like, I just don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I remember feeling lost and confused. I felt stupid. And my parents were so supportive and so loving and so just encouraging and saying, hey, just do your best. It's not, we'll get you a tutor, we'll get you one. And I was just lost. Well, midway through the year, a new teacher came in. And suddenly, the exact same material that had been so confusing to me made sense. Wow. And not only did it make sense, it was fun. I remember her teaching functions, comparing them to sausage factories. And so whatever, it was so fun. I always hear Joy and Sharon are saying that you guys were afraid of math. It's you know what's challenging about math? It's a foreign language. And if that foreign language isn't translated properly, like with sausage factories, for example, then if it's not translated in a way that's entertaining and interesting, then it can remain foreign and scary. So not only does math come off as boring to some people, but also scary and foreign. And that's all in the presentation. And that's what I really learned in the 7th grade without even realizing that's what I was learning. What I thought I was learning was, oh, hey, I'm not stupid in math after all. But what I was actually, but yeah, the piece of information, the wisdom that I would take with me for many, many, many years into my future was that it's the presentation of math that can make all the difference. And so, but I just got into math and I would take all the honors classes. It was still always a challenge for me. There's something else I want to say just about stereotypes in math that affected me. Some math teachers were not good at teaching. And a lot of teachers are thrown in to teaching math when that wasn't their expertise. But there's a lack of math teachers for some reason. And so a lot of teachers who aren't necessarily trained in that or generalists will be asked to be a math teacher. And they're being a hero. They're coming in to help, but maybe that's not their thing. And so it's an extra challenge and they're doing their best, but maybe they're not going to connect with students as easily. I'm seeing these people.
Yes, Cecilia says she had an arrogant math teacher. Oh, that's so.
Adam, the current crowd for my books is younger kids. I have books from ages 0 to 16 at McKellar Math. I've got middle school, high school, geometry, all that kind of stuff. Cecilia, you also had, misconceptions about math. Yeah. So thank you, Barbara. So I really started loving math. And yes, it was still a challenge. When I got to college, though, I will tell you, these insidious stereotypes that surround math got to me, and I didn't even realize it. So math has a lot of bad stereotypes attached to it. I would love to hear what you guys think some of them are, like what you've heard. Although I'm concerned that the delay is a little bit long on this. Do you know what the delay is?
I do not.
It might be about 30 seconds, I think.
Oh, it might be. It's probably the HDMI. The HD, if it's HD.
I don't know if it's HD or not. But anyway, I'll come back to them then. Okay. But one of the stereotypes is that girls aren't going to be as good at math as boys. Right. It just is. I mean, that's slowly changing, but it is still with us. And so girls end up getting a little more intimidated and their confidence drops actually in middle school. If you look at the numbers, you look at the studies, middle school is when girls' confidence in math drops way before their grades drop, their confidence drops. And that's a big deal because if you have a belief system that you're not going to be good at math or that you're not good at math, then when you do hit a stumbling block, and there are always going to be math will provide you with challenges that feel like stumbling blocks. When that happens, when you have that one bad test or a tough teacher or just a class that you don't click with, you're not necessarily going to see that as temporary stumbling block. you're more likely, if you have the belief system that you're not going to be good at math, you're more likely to see that as evidence of what you've known deep down all along. And gosh darn it, not sure why it took so long for me to finally see the evidence that I'm not good at math, but I knew it. So our perceptions of ourselves are so important. So that's why, like my first book that I wrote, Math Doesn't Suck, tried to make this as fun and girly as possible. Let's break some stereotypes. Let's break the stereotypes of what is, what a mathematician looks like. And I wish this had been around. Yeah, I wish that this had been around when I was little, because, when I was going into college. I can't believe I'm old enough to think that that's little now. Wow. Anyway, so when I was little and going to college, I didn't think I'd be able to handle college math. I didn't think I'd be able to handle it. And when I look back, it's like, why did I think I wouldn't be able to handle college math? I had graduated in like the top, sorry, someone's ringing the doorbell. I'd graduated in the top 3% of my high school class. And I had gotten like the highest score you can get on the calculus AP BC exam. So going into college from that, you have to ask yourself, well, what made me think I wouldn't be good at math? Because I was afraid of taking math in college. Despite all the success I'd had in junior high and high school, after that new teacher came in, I was really intimidated. And if I'm honest with myself, it's because I didn't look the part. I didn't look the part. So that's why I'm like, all right. Now we look the part.
Excellent. So
my mom likes to know if I'm going to tell my earrings story. Sure. All right.
Yeah.
Stereotypes. So thanks, Mom. That's a good one. So when I was in the ninth grade, I had a science teacher, and this science teacher, oh, you went away. Does that matter?
I went away. I wanted to hear the earring story. Just all you.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. Oh, I'm like, do I have cool earrings on now? I don't. It's because I'm wearing headphones. Anyway, I wish I had earrings to like somehow demonstrate with the story. But here's the earring story. So I was in the ninth grade, and I liked to wear big earrings. That was just kind of my thing. And we had a school uniform. And so I like to, you like to express yourself where you can. And our first science test, I got an A. And I will never forget the teacher coming over to me and saying, gosh, I gotta admit, I didn't expect you were going to do so well. You just seem more like a C student to me. You just seem like a C student. And I'm like, why? I don't know. You just seem so outgoing, and you wear such big earrings. And at the time, of course, this infuriated me. I'm like, well, I'll prove that wrong. And I was very indignant about it, not realizing that these things do sink in. But here's the most surprising part of the story. Would you believe it? The teacher was a woman. So that is my earring story. Thank you, Mom, for suggesting that.
All right.
Yes, Brent. Oh,
no,
Brent,
I have my big earrings on for you.
Thank you. Yes, you know what, Andrew? It's true that girls do just fine in math. The problem is that the confidence starts to drop somewhere in middle school, and as those stereotypes start to matter to kids. Stereotypes don't matter mostly to kids unless their parents are saying something to them. If your parent is telling you you're not going to be good at math, then yes, at 8 years old, you will be affected by that. But society creeps in, and we start noticing it around middle school, because middle school is the time when kids start caring about what other people think, and they want to fit in. They want to be part of the cool crowd. They're not just little kids playing in the playground anymore. Now they become very self-aware, and they're starting to think about things like identity and who am I? Especially girls are fascinated with who am I. If you look at like all the quizzes, like, are you a good friend? Are you a good kisser? Are you like, it's bad. You're like, I can't, I mean, even if I was presented with one of these quizzes now, I'd still probably take the quiz. Like, I don't know, who wrote this quiz? Should I care what they think of me? No, but it's irresistible. We want to know who we are. And so when you're trying to figure out who you are as a tween, and you're so concerned with your reputation and if you're going to be popular or not, then if you're too aware of stereotypes and they're all around, they tell you that pretty girls, smart girls aren't going to be popular, they're not the cute, fun ones, and you think you have to choose, then a lot of girls are going to end up shying away from that and also believing that they don't belong in math. So again, major goal of mine is to break stereotypes.
Oh, just fantastic. So I was thinking, math and numbers haven't changed. Math has been the same, but the way kids are taught has really changed with the Common Core. So not
Yes.
only do you know how to speak math to kids in their own language, but you also show parents kids are learning. And I have to say, so you have the translation guide in the end here.
Yes. Yes.
I was so jealous. I was like, why? Here, I needed this when my kids were in elementary school.
Yes, in the back of both. So I've got Do Not Open This Math Book. That's for first and second grade. For third and fourth grade, really second through fifth grade, anybody who's learning multiplication tables, times tables, and doing division, the Times Machine. And in both of these, I have a new math translation guide for grown-ups in the back of the book because, yes, the math looks very different. But also throughout both books, I will do the techniques that they're showing now. Sometimes they're a little overly complicated. Sometimes they're pretty cool, actually, and they're very visual and help. Sometimes they're a little much, whatever. Not here to judge, just here to help. So I'll show the way they're doing it now. I'll show the way that we did it. And then I'll show how they're really the same thing. They're just kind of dressed up differently. And I still remember it in the back of near the end of the Times Machine when I'm doing long division. And I'm showing how they do it now with these like super complicated discs, place value charts and columns. And you're like, what is this?
But
So, and this was something I fought for hard because it's hard to fit it all into these 2 pages. But I wanted to do the problem both ways, like every single step outline. Here's this and here's this. And it's actually the same thing. It just looks a little different the way they do it. But that way you can kind of go, oh, I can translate this. I can see what this is. Too many parents are telling me their kids are 7 and 8 and they don't know how to help them with their math homework. And that is unacceptable to me.
yeah. Oh, that was me. It's so serendipitous that this book came out right now.
I know.
Couldn't have been
I know.
better.
It's yeah, this is unprecedented, the way parents are needing to be responsible for their kids' education and are unprepared to do so. You know, there's no warning. I choose to homeschool my son. But it's just like.
So how many of your friends are hitting you up right now?
Well, okay, so what I did actually on my Instagram, I've got you know, like on the bio, the profile page, there are those circles. And on one of the circles, the highlights, one of them is called School at Home. And I did a bunch of videos, little tips, tricks, methods that I've learned over the last several years with Draco that help kids to focus when they're homeschooling and make things more engaging. And Draco my son even helped me act out some of them. So you can see their resources for you guys. I'm here for you. And I'm so happy that, yes, the timing of this book, the Times Machine has good timing. It came out, and now at McKellar Math, I have books that cover every age, 0 to 16, the entire curriculum. And it couldn't have happened at a better time.
And the videos are so helpful because it kind of gives you a little snippet into what the book is actually about, which I find was just so helpful. And you made me laugh. Like your list of things that suck. Here's things that suck. This is very funny.
Which video are you talking about?
There was a video that you did about math. I watched the very
I know
first
what you're talking about now. Okay, you're talking about at McKellarmath.com. There's one of the pages is fun links. You're talking about a Math Doesn't Suck video. I did a little mini series of, I think, 4 episodes.
I was cracking up.
It was a long time ago. I think it was 2011. I guess, is that a long time ago? 9 years? I don't know.
Yeah.
I believe that's when we did
right
it.
now.
Yeah, it does. Last month seems like forever ago right now.
It does.
So yes, I have videos. If you go to McKellarmath.com, click on fun links, and you'll see videos, all sorts of silly videos. I did a video series called Math Bites in 2013 or 2014, where I did all sorts of funny, silly things. I mean, you know, it's all about being helpful and fun and entertaining at the same time. I've been an entertainer and actress my whole life. I love math. Why not make entertaining math books? I just don't see a reason not to. And these, the Times Machine and Do Not Open This Math Book, are very graphic novel style. They've got tons of comics and cartoon characters. There's, you know, the ways of memorizing multiplication tables are all with a story and a poem and like a visual characters. You got Mr. Mouse and Miss Squirrel are 2 recurring characters throughout the book, as well as the Danica cartoon. And speaking of stereotypes and things, just seeing the female, the one who knows what's going on in this book, the Danica cartoon, is a female, I think that stuff gets in. It's just little subtle messaging.
It is. It very much does. Okay,
cool, Jackie. So Jackie just ordered a book, and someone else just said that too, but I missed it.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you guys, if you click on the green button, you can purchase a book through their website, and you can fill out a form so that I will sign you a personalized autograph. This opportunity does not happen very often. And a quick shout out to the people watching over here on Facebook. Come join me over at the link. Click on the link in the description. So click on my name or click on, or here.
So you're on Periscope.
Yeah, it is. Kind of. I think I lost connection on Periscope, but I'm definitely on Facebook over here. So you can order an autograph. This is a very unusual thing. I'm really excited that you guys are doing this. Thank you so much for creating this opportunity to get to sign autographs from people, like personalized ones.
Yes, and so we have somebody else watching on Periscope. I just got a text from Jeff Kinney, and he said to please let you know that he is watching via Periscope. I have no idea where in the world he is, but he says he's been following your career with admiration for a very long time. I think your books came out about the same time.
They did. Yeah, Math Doesn't Suck. The first book came out right when the Wimpy Kid series started, I believe, because we were both on the New York Times bestseller list at the same time. It's very exciting.
That's pretty awesome. I looked today. I was convinced that you were going to be on there, but we're going to make you get on there. So he does also say that your work. Well,
you know what? This book, it's a Flexibound, so they don't have a category for that.
Oh,
so there's no. I mean, it could be on some other best-selling list, but it was on Amazon's pick for July, and also we made it up to number 10 on Thursday on Amazon of the most purchased books. Crazy.
Okay, so I have to ask you this. So your book, Goodnight Numbers.
Oh, wait, somebody's saying, I just ordered a copy. Did I have to do something extra to get the personalized autograph? But you do, because you have to put what name.
There is a form, or you can actually also put it in the comments of your web order. You can just write who you, and if you don't put anything, I'll email you and ask you how you want it personalized.
She's all over.
I just go through them all anyways, because half the people do the form and half of them don't.
Oh, that's great, Amy. So Amy says that they pre-ordered earlier this year, but you want the autographed copy, so they just ordered one, and we'll donate the pre-ordered copy to your daughter's teacher. That is beautiful. I'm so glad. That's so great. I really appreciate that. I love donating books to teachers and libraries. It's just such a beautiful thing. So thank you so much.
It really is. And that kind of leads into my next question, which was Goodnight Numbers was selected for inclusion in Dolly Parton's literary charity, The Imagination Library.
Yes.
And
amazing.
You also narrate documentary debuting. Did it come out yet already, the documentary?
It's supposed to come out April 2nd. That was going to be a worldwide premiere, and then they delayed it. So it's going to be in theaters. It's going to be in theaters. They were doing one day in theaters all across the country. And they had to postpone it.
And then you also had her. She was in one of your Hallmark Christmas movies. So
yes. Well,
meeting her, is she as nice as she seems?
Dolly Parton is better than you think she's going to be. Dolly Parton is absolutely incredible. She's a gem. She's kind and generous and welcoming. She walks into a room and she knows that everybody is just like this, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Dolly Parton's here. And she just says, she walked in, we were shooting this big theater. For her first scene was in this big theater. She walks on stage, she goes, "Merry Christmas, everybody." And everybody's like, oh, like everybody, she knows how to make everyone feel comfortable and happy. And she's such a pro. She wanted to rehearse again and again and again. And she didn't have to do that. She's Dolly Parton. You know, she could think her way through it. But she's like, "Do you mind if we rehearse again?" I'm like, "I would love to keep rehearsing with you. Can we rehearse all day long?" She's the best. And yes, her charity, the Imagination Library, chose one of my books, Goodnight Numbers, for inclusion, and it's been in for a few years now. The amazing thing about that charity is they take popular children's books and they make low-cost versions of them. So the authors don't make much money at all, if anything at all, but they get it out to so many kids. Goodnight Numbers, I think, is out to almost 700,000 kids now because of this charity. These are kids that wouldn't normally be able to afford their own books. It's a beautiful, beautiful organization. She's donated, I think, 125 million books to kids over the last 25 years. I think it's 140 million now. I follow them on Instagram and I see their updates.
I was looking at it earlier. Wow.
Yeah.
As if we needed another reason to love her even more.
I know, I know. What's crazy is that I didn't know anything about the charity until my book was admitted into it. I guess it's not in California much. That's probably why.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go to some of these questions here. Oh gosh. Okay, so this one is floated up to the top and 4 people have asked it. So have to ask, with the news of a new Wonder Years being announced,
Yeah.
excited or hopeful to be included in the project?
I have nothing to do with the project. This is not, I have no idea what their plans are. I don't think I'll be involved in it at all, but I'm very curious to see what they do with it.
That's so
a lot
fun.
of great people involved, so we'll see.
Oh, that is very cool. Okay, so, this person, so Meg Campbell would like to know, could you tell us how you started writing books? And what is your writing schedule? We have some young authors watching this.
Well, I don't really have a writing schedule. Let me start off with how did I start writing? So when it was the year 2000, I was invited to speak in front of Congress about the importance of women in mathematics. And I did a bunch of research, and they had this big 100-page report they sent me on the issue of women and minorities in mathematics. And I read through the whole thing, taking notes. I was just out of college, so I was super studious and just absorbed it all. And it was clear that middle school was the time when girls' confidence started to drop. That's where I first learned that. Before I witnessed it in person, and I can tell you about that if you want to hear that. Somebody remind me about noticing girls' confidence dropping at that age. So I was studying this issue and thinking about it a lot. And then in 2005, years later, for some reason, the New York Times decided to do a story about me and the math paper that I co-authored back in college, the theorem that I helped to prove. And it said between series, because at that point I was on the West Wing, meaning the Wonder Years in the West Wing, between series, actress becomes superstar in math. And it showed a clip of the paper that I'd written and all this other stuff. Well, 2 different literary agents reached out to my manager at the time and said, hey, we think there's a book in here somewhere. And I had been thinking about the issue of girls in their confidence dropping in middle school. I've been thinking about it since I'd spoken in Congress 5 years prior. And I remember when this was suggested to me that I write a book, like, well, what kind of book would you want to write? I'm like, to help middle school girls in math. I want to help middle school girls in math. And they're like, okay, we took a few meetings in New York. The response from publishers was amazing. I signed a book deal almost immediately. And when I started writing the book, I remember feeling like I'd been waving my arms around and somebody picked me up and put me in the water and I was already swimming. I knew what I wanted to say. I knew how I wanted to say it. I knew I wanted to make math fun and relatable and make girls feel at home in math and make girls know for sure they did not have to choose between being a smart girl and being a fun friend. And these books are a little bit older, so there are little sketches and stuff, but it's for middle school. It's a little more, but all throughout it, I'll have testimonials of young women who are fun and cute and look like they'd be like a popular friend in school who were afraid of math and now are doing great things with math in their career. And this is all throughout the book. I've got tons of little inspirational stories and sidebars. I don't know if I can find it. I'll read you this one about, well, I'm not going to find it in time, but it's basically it's called Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. And I talk about how a diamond is formed deep under the Earth's crust with millions of years of pressure and it's heat and pressure. And that's what makes the diamond sparkly. So to think of yourself that way, think of yourself as forming right now. When things are hard and you feel like you're under pressure and you stick with it, you are crystallizing. You are becoming that sparkly diamond that's going to shine, but you have to put the work in. Things like that.
That's so awesome. Okay, so here's a question from Kyle. It says, hi, I can understand and do math pretty well, but sometimes I get bored when they teach the same. How do I focus?
What, do we know what age?
Kyle, are you there? How old are you?
So, I mean, to the point of being bored, yeah, well, that's kind of, like I said, it's kind of my jam, making math fun. Because it's a language. It's a language, and you can talk about anything in the language of math. You can talk about your taxes, or you can talk about something awesome, like the probability of picking, I don't know, the right lip gloss out of a bag of lip glosses at a party. Whatever it is, you can put it in a context that's fun and relatable,
Oh,
or
he's
or
11.
not. 11, okay.
11.
Yeah, well, fractions, okay, so see, if you're 11, then yeah, fractions is a thing you're probably spending a lot of time with. One thing that I like to think about is, I call some, like if you have a fraction like 3/3 or 4/4, and these are really useful when you're finding equivalent fractions, or if you want to divide by 4 and divide by 4, if you're reducing a fraction, whatever it is, I call these copycat fractions. So anytime I deal with one of these, oh, I found it.
Awesome.
All copycat fractions are equal to 1. So there's my little copycat. And so even when you're just doing something like that, when you're calling the fraction the copycat fraction, that's how I teach my son, it's just a little more fun. So yeah, it's a challenge sometimes to take dry math concepts and make them fun, but that's what I do. And that's part of the challenge that I love about being an author. And then in the Times Machine, the new book, I mean, gosh, I do all sorts of crazy things. And they time travel. So here they're in the Pirates of the Caribbean, essentially.
That is very cool.
And they go see dinosaurs, other the dinosaurs, and all while learning math. And usually the comics have something to do with the actual math lesson itself. Quite a bit to do with them, actually. It's again a really fun challenge. And let's see. Oh, so I think I've mentioned that when teaching the multiplication facts, I have a story or a poem or whatever goes with it, but I have not shared with you the one that I've been talking about lately. Some of you guys, if you've seen me on a talk show, you might have heard me say this. It's been making the rounds. But when you guys are learning your multiplication tables, that can be kind of boring, right? It's like rote memorization, talk about the same thing again and again, like Kyle was mentioning. Here's one. 6 times 7 equals 42. It's one of those ones that it's harder to learn because they're the bigger numbers kind of, and there's just a lot of them. It's hard to remember all of them. Well, if you give them a story and a little poem, they're not as hard to learn. For example, imagine for the 6. So 6 times 7 equals 42. 6. Imagine a 6-sided block of cheese. Big block of cheese. And Mr. Mouse, who's one of the main characters in this, we've got Mr. Mouse and Miss Squirrel and then Danica, of course. Mr. Mouse loves cheese. I mean, I think all mice love cheese, but he really loves cheese. He loves cheese so much that he's going to eat one of these 6-sided blocks of cheese every day for a full week. Yes, every day for a full week. 7 days. For 7 days, he's going to eat this 6-sided block of cheese. At the end of all that cheese, he gets full and farty too.
Knew that was not going to end well.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you're laughing, you're not stressed. And you're probably not bored either. But more importantly, you're going to remember that 6 times 7 is 42. So there you go. This is the kind of stuff I do through the entire book. And it's really fun and it's nice to know, because I've already been getting a lot of comments from you guys, and the reviews on Amazon have been amazing. Just knowing that already a lot of kids are finding success learning the multiplication facts, and that makes me super happy.
That is so. So this is just the coolest comment here from Russell. Russell says, I read Math Doesn't Suck back in 2008 because I was interested in learning how to explain math to kids. I decided once I read the book that I wanted to pursue a second career as a math teacher. I tutored. Gosh. Can you believe this? This is so cool. I tutored for about 6 years at the school where my kids went. I retired in 2019 from my government job and just finished my first year teaching pre-algebra to 6th graders at the same school where I've been tutoring. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. Oh wow. So pre-algebra. I wonder, are you this one? That's Kiss My Math. I wonder if you have that one.
Oh.
This one I actually wrote in 2008. And this covers where this picks up where this leaves off. So Kiss My Math is solving for X, negative numbers. It's a lot of variables, graphing inequalities, things like that. So anyway, I hope that you either have this or you might get it, and it could be give you some fun fodder. But I'm sure you're doing an amazing job, and that's just so wonderful to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing that.
That is awesome. All right, so here is a question from Catherine. She says, which of your books would be best for parents of middle and high schoolers who are having to teach their kids during quarantine and need to retrain their math brains? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking Catherine needs to retrain her math brain. The way I'm
Math
reading
Doesn't Suck.
this.
Math Doesn't Suck is fractions, decimals, percents, proportions, beginning stages of solving for X. That's what this is really great for. Yeah, and any adult who is saying, hey, I wish I was better at math, I wish I could remember things that come into everyday life, this is the one for sure. And then Kiss My Math is great for like 6th, 7th grade. This is 5th or 6th. This is 6th or 7th grade, where you're getting into negative numbers and really dealing with the variables and variables multiplying, dividing. So that's what this one. And then I've got the algebra book. Hang on. Got a bunch of books here. This is we've been writing books for 13 years. Hot X. This is the algebra book. This is your good old Algebra 1. So we go through, all the stuff that we did in Math Doesn't Suck, but with variables this time. The distributive property with variables and fractions with variables, and then we do everything like FOIL, reverse FOIL, factoring. We've got functions. We've got the quadratic formula. Yeah, so tons of great stuff. All Algebra 1 is in here. And then the final book, the oldest kid book that I have written is, where is it? There's one. Girls Get Curves, Geometry Takes Shape. This one has proofs. You will learn how to do a geometry proof with this book. Proofs I always found to be the most challenging thing in geometry, in high school geometry. And so in geometry is actually a little bit challenging for me. I had to work harder at it than I did algebra. So it was a really, really fun challenge, becoming an uber expert at all this stuff and then making it really fun. So yeah, this is legit high school geometry. And I know these books look like they're just for girls. Boys use them all the time. In fact, my literary agent in New York, for all I know, she's watching right now, her son just last year was using this book, and she sent me an email. She's like, I cannot even tell you how grateful I am that we have this book. My son used it. It really helped him. He understands proofs, and it's just great to hear. Of course, she helped to make this book happen.
That is fantastic. I love proofs. For some weird reason, I just love geometry and writing proofs.
Oh, Danielle says her first grader is still laughing about the 6 times 7 equals 42. That's great.
That's awesome. Excellent. So Catherine says that is exactly what I need. Hot X and Girls Get Curved.
Good.
Great. I'm fine now. I'm so glad we could help you, Catherine.
Hang on one second. Hey guys on Facebook, I know I am totally ignoring you. I want you to go over and go to the book signing that I'm doing right now. I'm doing a live book signing. Sorry, I wrote it on this piece of paper, but check me out over there. That's what I'm doing. I only have this running as sort of like behind the scenes, but I'm going to be signing autographs. You guys can order books through their website, and I will sign you a personalized autograph. So that is why I'm ignoring you. I don't mean to. Normally, I would never ignore you guys. That is what's going on. So go check me out, and then I'll be looking directly at you.
Excellent. So Keith would like to know, hello, Danica, non-math related, any good palindromes for us?
Oh gosh, I did palindromes for years. I wrote palindrome, well, when Draco was a tiny baby, and well, probably his first year of his life, when I was breastfeeding him, I was just sitting there for 45 minutes every night, and I would write a palindrome. And then people would have to guess what the palindrome was based on my clue. And then I realized that wasn't going to work long term. And then I did one a week for years. I just stopped last year. So let me see. Okay, one of my favorite palindromes is one that I wrote, actually. And so the clue for it is, paraphrase this: lots of alien boogers. Lots of alien boogers. Lots of alien ship boogers. So think about that. See if you can come up with a palindrome. It's a 4-word palindrome. So I'll give that to you.
If anybody gets it.
Taco Cat is a personal favorite. Yes. That's a good one. I like that. Taco Cat. Good palindrome.
Oh, that is excellent.
Thank you, Craig. Yes, this guy named Craig over here. Thank you so much for giving that. Hopefully that link will work. But go to anunlikelystory.com. It should be obvious, right? The event's probably front and center somehow.
And this is actually embedded in the event page. So if they go on there, we have all of the books on the website. So
go to the event page. Leave Facebook and go to the event page of anunlikelystory.com.
Yeah.
And you can see me there. And you can order a personalized autograph. This is great.
Very cool. All right, excellent. Danica, this has been so much fun.
Yes, and for anybody, somebody was saying that they had trouble ordering. Why don't you call the store? If not today, tomorrow. I have a feeling that she's going to take care of you and make it happen.
Yes, we will get it all straightened out. Everybody's answering the phone. We are currently closed, but we're doing curbside pickup, and we actually have a new van that I've been driving around delivering books in, which is so much fun. So
it's great.
You gotta have your laughs wherever you can. And someone asked a question, can we order a book after this event at the bookstore and still get it personalized? Unfortunately not, because we're not open yet. We will be, hopefully soon.
But did you say that that the link for buying a book and ordering a personalized autograph stays up for a day or two after the event?
I'll leave it up for a couple days. If you want to buy it over the next couple days, just go ahead and click on the book. Ray, just call the store. I think we spoke to you earlier. So if it didn't go through then, we can certainly help you out.
Oh, great. Somebody says 48 hours. So from now, for 48 hours, you can actually go to that and order a personalized book.
Yes, personalized book plate, and then
book plate, and then it'll be in the book, and you'll get it. Yeah, that's
and we're
great.
all answering the phone. We're all here at the store, happy to help you. We'll walk around with FaceTime, and we miss everybody. So it's at least we're happy we have you from your living room, Danica. This has been just so great, and
it really has been.
This has been wonderful. So,
and I want to mention, in case if any of you guys are looking for a camp for your kids, there's something called Story Pirates that I'm doing, and I'm the week of July 20th. So if you go to my Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, you'll see a link, and I've got this link tree. It's so great. So I have multiple links, and one of the links is for the Story Pirates event. So you can register your kid for that. And hey, somebody got it. Somebody got the palindrome. Tons of UFO snot. Great job.
That is so cool.
Happy Lisa.
And yes,
I almost forgot about that. I'm so glad we didn't leave that hanging. Thank you, Lisa, for doing that. Tons of UFO. Yes, lots of alien ship boogers. Tons of UFO snot.
Excellent. Yeah. Fantastic. Well, thank you for being with us tonight, Danica. We so appreciate it. This was so much fun. I hope everyone had fun.
Yes.
And, great. We look forward to hopefully inviting you to Plainville when we're all on the other side of this.
That would be wonderful. I would love that.
We would love that too. All right. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.